This one is for the special mixed rules bout on 1X, One Championship show coming up on March 26th. This is between Rodtang Jitmuangnon and Mighty Mouse Demetrious Johnson. The first round and the third round are One Championship Muay Thai rules. So it's Muay Thai in the cage circle with the small gloves. And then the second and the fourth round are MMA rounds. I keep going back and forth on this, and I keep thinking to myself, okay, well, it suits Rodtang for this reason, then it suits DJ for this reason, and obviously the first thing that everybody thinks is, okay, well, don't get knocked out in the first 3 minutes by Rodtang, and then DJ is going to take him down and sub him. And I don't know if it's as clear-cut as that. I definitely think, of course, that DJ is going to be able to take him down at will, and I think once he hits the floor, he'll be able to dominate him as much as he wants with strikes and submission attacks. But we also don't really know what Rodtang's been doing as far as his grappling training. Of course he's taking this very seriously, but they are very much throwing him in at the deep end. The question is, can Rodtang do any damage in the first round? And he's not notorious for hurting people in the first round. But then again, Demetrious Johnson's not notorious for subbing people in the first round either. He takes a bit of time to work. So depending on how well Rodtang's invested his grappling time, his training, will depend on how much of a stubborn individual he can be if he's on the ground or if he's trying to defend takedowns. Now, before I get into any fight footage, one thing I will say that concerned me a little bit is I've seen Rodtang working ground and pound. And if I'm his grappling coach, I'm not teaching him anything from top position because the likelihood of him being there is very, very slim. The chance of him being in a top position for ground and pound is only if he's going to knock DJ down. And I even think still it would be safer to let him get back to his feet if it's one of the MMA rounds. What an interesting fight, I have to say, because you've got two guys that are the best at what they do coming into a fight where they both have an opportunity to do what they're best at. Now, the reason why it's been stacked the way it is, of course, is because if it was MMA first, then the expectation would be that DJ would sub him in the first round. Having Muay Thai in the first round means that we're definitely going to get 3 minutes of DJ trying to strike with one of the most experienced and dangerous Muay Thai fighters on the planet. And this, it kind of harks back to the old days, the old events that we used to watch where you would match, a boxer against a wrestler or a kung fu guy against a sumo guy or whatever. We're putting a high-level MMA fighter against a high-level Muay Thai fighter. You would probably struggle to find two guys of a higher level that would take this kind of risk to fight one another. It's fascinating. I can't wait for it. It's a really interesting fight on a really, really interesting card. I'm just about to do the breakdown for the featherweight Grand Prix final as well. Kind of an aftermath and what's happened so far. So make sure you check that out as well. But this whole card's great. There's loads of good fights on it. Can't wait to be watching it live. And I'm just intrigued as to what Rodtang's going to look like if he gets into an MMA round and how DJ deals with the Muay Thai pressure of one of the scariest guys in the sport. It's going to be a good one. Make sure you catch it.